but I've been in and out for the most part for the past month and some change.
You've played with some high-level teams in your career. Do you have any sense of the competitive possibilities with this roster?
Oh, man. I'm really looking forward to it tomorrow. I started camp. Like I said,
Okay, the question before was stupid, but the competitive possibilities of this roster. We're going to go out there and we're going to suck ass. And we're going to suck ass like no one has ever sucked ass. Because fuck it. That's the competitive possibility of the roster. We're just going to go out there with the intent of being steamrolled by the entire league. Can we get better questions? Please. Is it that hard? And if you don't have a good question, shut the fuck up.
I said the talent is there. You know, I don't think I've played with as talented a team as I have, you know, since coming here. You know, now it's about just putting it together. You know, and me doing my part and being a veteran on the team and kind of bringing it all together and helping it mesh a little quicker. So it's a lot of great opportunities that I'm definitely excited just to be out there with those guys and kind of putting this thing together.
All right, that's it for that. Okay. Man, I get sick of these stupid questions. Let's see. There's one more point I wanted to add to this. Let me see. Okay, that's what it was. I have to pause the video for a minute until I figured it out. So, a lot of people, bloggers and other things, some YouTubers, especially some prominent ones from the Bull side, are content or have this innate thing. They're like, okay, Lonzo's going to reprise his same role that he had on the Pelicans, right? I'm glad, you know, Zach and everybody's reiterating he's going to be the point guard. He's going to dictate things. Because, but, you know, even with that said, we still got reporters who are making pods and stuff saying, oh, you know, well, I don't know why he has that dream or that belief. He's going to be a wing. He's going to spot up his shoe. And it makes me think most of these people have never watched him play or have actually done analysis. I think they just look at the things and they see stats and they see other articles and say, okay, this is who he is. Which brings me to the point at the end of this video that I want to discuss. Because and y'all forgive me, this may turn into a rant. But the mental gymnastics that I'm seeing by the media is irritating the fuck out of me. What do I mean? So, Lonzo Ball is 23 years old. He'll be 24 this month because we're in October. He's 23 years old, going on 24. He had a different role, and he had success in that role to some degree. And so that's all he is. He's not allowed to change and prove. He should just be there. That's how you get the most value out of him, yada, yada, yada. That's it. So 23-year-old Lonzo Ball has peaked. He will not be better than this. Or he can improve, but he should improve as a wing spacer connector versus anything else. He should do what he's good at. That's what we're being told, right? Derozan is 31 or 32 years old. He has been a scorer his entire career, peaking at 27 points per game. He was never a passer. He was never a creator. His best years, which you could maybe argue that him getting 6.9 assists with the 21 points a game or something, is his best year. You can maybe argue that. But he's a scorer. That's what he's done for the, and that's where he's had his peak years. Why are we not giving Derozan the same treatment as saying, you should stick to what you do and not pass the ball or get assists or create? What you do is score. Why are we putting him in a box, number one? Let's start there. Because that would be consistent and fair, correct? Okay, let's take this another step, right? Not only are they not putting him in a box, but they are allowing for a 31, 32-year-old player. Sorry about that. Let me sweep this shit. I don't need any more interruptions. He's a 31, 32-year-old player. Lonzo is, for all intents and purposes, 8 to 7 years younger. Why is it that he is allowed at 31, 32 years old to reinvent his game or add the passing or improve his passer, and now he's allowed to do that? But 23-year-old Lonzo Ball, oh, he can't play in the pick and roll. He's not good in the pick and roll, blah, 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 blah. See, am I the only person that's seeing the hypocrisy here? Am I? Let me know. Because I could have sworn that this same logic was used to denigrate one player and elevate another. Now, let's just put that to the side. Are we really saying that a 23-year-old player has nothing more to learn when this 31, 32-year-old man has? See, I'll give you a prime example of this, right? Let's just say you laid towel on the floor at age 10. You did it one time, right? Will you be able to do that again, say 30 years later down the line? No. You're not going to remember how to do it. You're not going to remember the techniques. You have not practiced. You have not honed the skill. You cannot improve from that, so therefore you will never get better. Let's just say we take a guy, and I'm going to give an even bigger age gap here. Let's say a guy's 35, never laid towel in his life, and for a week, once a week, for a year, he's laying towel. Let's just say 15 years from now, or from that point, will he be good at laying towel? Yes. And let's add to that. Let's just say he was sucking at it, but he kept working on it. Day in, at least once a week, he kept working on improving the skill. Will he eventually get good at it? Yes, absolutely. Why am I saying this? Because we're sitting here saying, well, Lonzo's pick and roll numbers aren't that good. Okay, and he has to learn. He has to learn. He's truly, really a junior in terms of NBA experience, number of games played. And this was just his second offseason where he was healthy enough to actually work on his game. So Lonzo hasn't improved in pick and roll. Lonzo hasn't improved in pick and roll. Lonzo hasn't improved in pick and roll. Lonzo was the same player from years 1 through 3, with the exception of he was able to work on his jump shot despite not being able to do anything else. When training camp started in year 3, that was his first year under the Pelicans. The second year under the Pelicans, he had that offseason, jump in his game, improvements across the board. He just had a second offseason to work on his game. We're projecting improvements across the board. Now, I've also done a video stating that improvements does not mean that he's going to get more points because of the situation. He may be the third or fourth or maybe even fifth option. Will he get the same number of shots? Who knows? Maybe he does get the same number of shots. Maybe he gets a higher role and he gets more shots. I don't know. But we can't necessarily say that his improvement is going to be, career highs across the board. It could be percentage increases. Maybe he goes from being a 41% field goal shooter to like a 44, 45% field goal shooter, or from a 37 point, whatever he had, field goal 3-point shooter to like a 39% shooter. That's improvement. Okay, that's becoming more proficient with it. And maybe let's just say he's in the middle of the pack in terms of pick and roll. Maybe he goes up to 65 or 75%, in that percentile of the league. Okay, so yeah, he may not be quote unquote elite, but he's trending up. Okay, but if we say stick him in a corner, stick him on the perimeter, have him play defense and shoot, how is he going to get to work on that if he's never put in a situation to build that skill? When you go to school, you get in school work and then you get homework. Why? Because you have to keep practicing and work on the skill. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Last year they took the ball out of his hands and gave it to Zion. Zion got to run the pick and rolls. He didn't get that many pick and rolls a game. Repetition, repetition, repetition. His mid range increased from like 27 to 40%. Okay, he took more. Repetition, repetition. This is something he took more than he's ever taken in his career. He got better as the year went on, but as you see, 27 compared to the year before, not taking as many, to 40%, taking more, having an off season to work on his game. Repetition, practice, time. Okay, we got media heads, bloggers, NBA reporters, and analysts. These guys out here making, podcasts and shit saying this kind of stupidity. It pisses me off, man, because it negates basically just saying a 23-year-old has reached his peak, his ceiling, he will never get better, which is bullcrap. Especially one that was injury riddled the first 2 years and didn't get the offseason to work on that stuff. If he did, we would have saw last year's version of Lonzo in year 2 on the Lakers. And then we probably would have saw this version of Lonzo that we're going to get this year, which is going to be way better. First year on the Pelicans, which would have made him look even better. The only difference is time. And he's getting a little bit more time to work this offseason because the season ended in May, and he had from May to basically, we'll just go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt and say October. Even though we know today is the first day of October. He had about 5 months. Last year, I don't remember when the season. Yeah, because they came back in. Yeah, they left the bubble like in August or September, and then the season was starting up. They had training camps, I think, starting around November. So that was like 2 or 3 months. He's had double the time, essentially, from last year's offseason, which wasn't even a long one, to improve his game. Think about that. But we're really sitting here and I'm listening, I'm seeing people saying, why does he have this? Who does he think he is? Kind of like, why is he trying to buck the system? Why doesn't he just do what he's good at? Because he could be better. And you never, like I say, what do I tell y'all people? What is that thing I say? You never take something away completely from a player. You feed them a constant diet of it. It doesn't have to be too excessive. You feed them enough of it so that they can get enough experience and get comfortable with it and get better. Antonio Daniels said he looked much more comfortable this year in the pick and roll. Did you know he was working on some of this stuff the last offseason? That's why he had better numbers, because he was way more egregious than he was last year. That's why he improved. What did he spend more time working on this summer? Pick and roll. Mid-range, getting to his spots, and taking jump shots. I truly believe his field goal percentage is going to be like 44, 45% this year. Not just that, I think he's going to be a very passable in the pick and roll. I predict that he will be much better. And now we're going to hear people, see, the narrative is going to change about Lonzo this year. But this is why I hate you fucking media guys and you fucking podcast guys and your fucking analysts. Because y'all don't do shit. Y'all just sit there and run your fucking mouths. We're sitting here, we're talking about a guy who's been injured and hurt. And when he's not been hurt, he showed steady improvement. Last 10 games last year, 18, 6, and 8. I believe 44% field goal shooting, 41% from 3. The last 10 games that he played. And you want to know what his lowest scoring games of those were? It's 12. He had 2 12-point games. 2 12-point games. And he still got you 18, 6, and 8. Much better efficiency. But this, we're just supposed to sit back and say, he's capped out at this, right? 23-year-old player capped out? But this 31, 32-year-old dude added passing or creation into his offense and got there after this year. Really, he's been getting it since he's been on Spurs. We could argue with system. But he's been doing this on the Spurs in his later years of his career, still in the prime. He improved, he grew. But we're going to say Zoe can't do that? I truly hate this. I truly freaking hate this. But that's okay. Lonzo, you got to kill their ass this year. This all go away if you just kill their ass. Go ahead, get to the basket. Run pick and roll. Get your mismatch. Get to the free throw line. And all this shit will go away. Because these guys do not want to see young players in general do great, but Lonzo in particular. De'Aaron Fox can't shoot a three, but he's been improving. He's been improving. Y'all gonna put him in a box too, right? Y'all don't want to have basketball conversations. Y'all don't. Y'all just want to look at your numbers or look at these other articles, well, it is utter nonsense. But y'all want to look at these other articles and shit by your peers and just use that as the basis to which to judge a player. Y'all didn't even watch the games. He couldn't finish at the rim. Zion's transcendent. Zion's different. But even Zion was struggling at times because guess what? Steven Adams was in the paint. B.I. couldn't get there either. It's people in the paint. Lonzo, who's the lesser of those guys as far as offensive capability, is now learning how to tap into his own skills there. Can't even get to the fucking rim and finish. Because he's always got 5 guys to deal with. His and the other ones from Zion and Adams and their guys. But now he's got a pick and pop guy in Vooch. Pick and roll, he's going to pop. Zoe's going to beat this man to the rim. Dunk. Efficiency. And then y'all are going to say, oh, he's a creator. It's not that it should have been a question. It's just that you guys don't watch shit. Stay in your lane. Peace.